Hey, this video is going to contain spoilers for Dreams of an Insomniac Volume 1. If you do not want this to be spoiled for you, click off this video, because I'm going to spoil it. Thank you. Analog horror, that thing people on the internet seem to really enjoy for some reason. See, I myself actually am a fan of this kind of horror, but I have a single caveat to that. I am incredibly picky with my likes and interests in analog horror. Some projects that have been put out are just cool to me, but not really scary. Others are just bad. They're just very bad. But for this case, it's a little special. See, this series is a series by one of my friends, so I feel the need to be as brutally honest as I can possibly be. So that's what this video is for. Good evening, my name is Sin and welcome to Horror and Chill, the lovely online web series where I talk about a horror-related topic and the vibes are chill. Tonight's topic? Dreams of an Insomniac. So, Dreams of an Insomniac is a series created by content creator Postrespec. The series has you following someone named Tommy Merrick, who had discovered these old tapes that they believed to be haunted, watching them back on a CRT, and thus we get the series of videos we're watching, with the newest installment now being Dreams of an Insomniac Volume 1 Foundation Archive. Now, Dreams of an Insomniac, or DOAI, is one of the few analog horror series that has really made a decent example of what analog horror can be, in my opinion. Far more than just, ooh, text on a screen and automated voice equals scary, which it has done before, but still had found ways to be unique. And it wasn't the entire thing. Some series never get past, ooh, warped face equals scary. Some may start with that, but as they grow and continue, they bloom into actual standalone scary projects. And that's the case with DOAI. Along with that, DOAI has been the best, in my opinion, at building up horror. Things that seem minute later turn into grand pieces of horror. Details we could easily forget become so incredibly important, and the pacing of it all spins together in a beautiful, chilling experience. Piercing to watch with sound design and music that makes your skin crawl and your breath hitch. It's terrifying and cool at the same time. Now, this video is my honest thoughts on one sole part of DOAI. Because others have already discussed this topic heavily, I really suggest watching those videos. I want to tackle the setup of the series, how everything builds, and how, especially in Volume 1, everything built up just so perfectly. Within DOAI Volume 1, we learn so much. Volume 0 is like the exposition, and Volume 1 is finally digging into it. We learn more of the Lankman Foundation, something we only vaguely knew existed within the outlines of Volume 0. We also get to actually experience what happens to those who come in contact with a Veldigan. Most series, they don't put you in that kind of role. They don't show you how the spooky monster affects its world, only the carnage they leave behind in cryptic messages and last words of dying victims. Instead, here, we experience a phone call from a citizen's perspective. We witness her trying to get help from the police, only to be hung up on and taken away by the caretakers. These strange, inhuman beings that wear bandages over their faces and goggles over where their eyes should be. Then we learn something even more unsettling. The Lankman Foundation, the one who wishes to help people, uses exposure treatment. Now, with everything else saying about how the Eastridge demon is still at large, the Smiling Snatcher is out on Halloween, what could they be exposing the patients to? Which is why this setup is done so well. Alex Williams, a character we had seen earlier in the recordings as just a concerned bystander, works for the Lankman Asylum, giving us a first-hand glimpse into how just absurd it all was. His presence allows us to have a perspective into an otherwise isolated world. They speak with the lady who had been taken by the caretakers, and we learn with them about a hidden room, Room 66. Then we get our first witness of Lankman.
They took me to Room 66?
What? No, that's not possible. There's only...
It's him!
Just try
He's going to take me back there! Please help me take him back!
He isn't going to take
Don't
you
let him
back
take me
there.
back! Don't let him take me back!
Quiet for a moment, okay?
Just what do you think you're doing?
It's such a chilling experience, and when Alex reveals that they weren't even punished for it, just told to go back to work and they never saw her again, it fills you with a sense of utter dread as to whatever those caretakers could have taken her. And even more so, it makes you fear what could be in room 66. When looking back at the footage, Alex finds that there was a camera in that room. They had never seen any cameras before, not in the rooms of the patients. Then, after that reveal, Alex did something he was afraid to do. They removed their goggles, and everything looked the same. The sheer tension you can feel building, the line delivery, the way it's framed, it's all building up in a way that is near perfection. Analog horror should have more of these moments of pure human fear, the fear of the unknown. What do you mean it all looked the same? Where did that patient go? Where is room 66? It makes you question, and the questions make you panic, and then the fear snakes around your heart with an iron grasp. Alex becomes determined to figure out what they are hiding. Cameras? People? Rooms? And then we have the most satisfying moment, the reveal within room 66.
Help me!
And it's not Winfrey that was the payoff of all this buildup. Winfrey, whilst being a horrifying monster using the voice of Patient 66, was not the true payoff. The true moment of striking fear? The reveal of Lankman.
Looks like someone wandered somewhere they aren't supposed to be.
In that moment, cornered and alone, I finally understood what they were so afraid of. I was finally seeing what they were seeing. For the first time, I saw his face.
There is no words. I believe this reveal was done astonishingly well. The framing of it, the voice acting, the music, it all came together to make a strikingly iconic scene. One I believe stands above every other to come before it. It's even more telling that Alex never addressed Winfrey, never once acknowledged the live Veldigan before them. The thing they feared the most was Lankman's face. It made them tremble while they were talking. It made them pause and take a breath. Not the Veldigan, Lankman. Nearing the end, Alex begins to talk about a recent incident, how Lankman pretended nothing happened, but now staff ignored him. Cars with tinted windows and people now seem to be following him just out of the corner of his eye. When he was given a job that doesn't even fit his credentials, and the whole reason for the tape being made was fear that soon they would never be able to speak to us again. They've been told to research somebody very dangerous, and once they're done, the Foundation's not going to need them anymore. And so we are told we've been left with an archive of the Foundation's every move, every lie, and word spoken by them in tapes, for us to spread like wildfire. The people need to know. But just as Alex is going to leave, taking a breath, relaxing even, we begin to hear the familiar sound of a caretaker's garbled presence, inhuman moans and trills of a metallic singing to them. And then it ends. Credits roll with a green hue of Alex's room and the ever-looming threat of Lankman's red eyes in the doorway. This entire volume was set up perfectly. The usage of a character from Volume 0 now becoming our fresh perspective. The fact that they live on 66 Elk Crescent, the same street where Patient 66 had been taken, the running number of 66, 66 Elk Crescent, Patient 66, Room 66. Oh my goodness. Too many sixes. All of that building up with everything we learn. Lankman at first being treated as just a silly toon, which is how any other post-respect viewer would know the character, and then him being twisted into this abnormal monster what could have been once human, along with the fact that the caretakers exist, everyone being told to never interact with them, that they are to be left alone, and Alex is forced to sit and watch Patient 66 be taken away, treated like a thrashing, disobedient animal. Every little detail in this entry just, it makes me so happy. See, I am an absolute sucker for itty-bitty details. Itty-bitty details that fuse together into something much larger, something much more tasty. DOAI is an analog horror series that does that for me. The acting, both visually and vocally, was so captivating this time around. Everyone who worked on it did an excellent job. Though I have to say, if I'd be lying if I didn't laugh when David Barron of all people was the 911 operator. The love and care that goes into making DOAI shows in its final product, and I wholeheartedly believe that the setup for Volume 1 was executed amazingly. Volume 0, while rough in tiny aspects, was an amazing build-up to this new installment, and I am absolutely enamored with whatever will come out next. Analog horror, as picky as I can be with what I like from it, is still new, so seeing new things come out of it so often with more love and care put into them, being unafraid to actually try new things, it gives me hope to see how that inspiration can trickle into other people's projects. Now then, I'll be returning to the void from whence I came. If you have a specific topic you'd like me to cover, please let me know. Remember to take care of yourself, drink water, and good night.